So Murakami told him everything about the witches, right down to the last detail, and gave him the pill sample for manufacturing. But every process takes about 6 months by Kogoro. But the witches only have a few months worth of pills, yet there is still hope if the pills crystallize. Now all they can hope for is for Kogoro to succeed in making the pills within the month. At the time, Kazumi's computer had been damaged and a portion of it was missing, so Murakami informed her that they could purchase it in Akihabara. Aside from that, Murakami inquired about the lab, hoping to learn anything from her. She only told him what she had heard from others, that the lab was built in ancient alien ruins she had seen with her own eyes, and there is a witch more powerful than a triple-rank witch. Supposedly, it was just a rumor about a witch named Valkyria, strong enough to destroy the humanity if ever set loose, but they thought that just to catch low-level witch they won't let her loose. Speaking of, Murakami told them what Kogoro told him about the pills taking 6 months in manufacturing. So now there is only one option. Turn on the tablet Nico gave him that she got form the lab to get any more information about the lab. With that, Kazumi and Murakami went to the Akihabara to look for Kazumi's computer part, but she insisted on going to the maid cafe, but Murakami refused and prioritized the PC part. After that, Murakami took her to the maid cafe himself, and Murakami turned on the tablet in the crown to avoid being tracked, and on the front of the tablet was something written in German, and there was a map in there to the front was German language was that they must kill all the witches to know the truth. Murakami then searched for the location he had seen in the tablet late at night. And it was there that Kazumi crashed and purposefully missed her last bus, allowing her to spend the night with Murakami. She used her ability to obtain the location, so Murakami went there the other day and found nothing but ruins of a church. So Murakami asked a nearby shop lady about it. She knew only that an explosion occurred in the middle of the night and that she knew nothing else. So Murakami returned to the ruins, but cops arrived to arrest him for trespassing. Fucking old man wanted to arrest him just for this little thing. But Kana, on the other hand, has the vision. Murakami was shot by that cop, so she sent Nico and Katori to help him escape from that old man. They were all concerned that Murakami was acting on his own and not seeking assistance from them. But after this, Murakami admitted he was mistaken and began to trust them more. And Chisato learned of the incident and dispatched his assistant, Kurofu. He arrived as a government agent, took the descriptions of the people they met, and erased their memories with another witch. Nanami was a witch with the ability to change people's memories as long as they made eye contact with her. She alters memories of everyone in order to avoid Kurofugo for the time being. And she called Murakami by using her ability on his friend, and there she erased his memories to time he was a child. She thought her talent would work on Murakami, but he has a photographic memory. So that ability didn't work on him, so he told everyone about it, and Kazumi found her out. So they got in touch with her, and she told them she was going to report them to lab, relating their location and the number of people in the observatory. But Nico believed her and wanted her to leave the lab. She even took off her glasses to convince her. And this gave her the opportunity to control Nico and capture everyone. But she saw in her memories that out of everyone, Nico stood up for her when they were debating what to do. Nico was the one who suggested they be friends with her and accept her into the group. So she returned Nico's sense because Nanami only wanted to have friends in her life. So they took her to the observatory and had Kogoro look in their harness. Murakami explained the harness function and how pressing the lower left switch could dissolve their body. So Kogoro was about to seek assistance from a medical university when her harness was remotely ejected. The lab killed her because they knew she had betrayed them. However, even as she was dying, she erased her memories from everyone because she didn't want her friends to be sad thinking about her. Only Murakami remembered her because of his photographic memories, but she did not die. Instead, she transferred her consciousness to Murakami. Memories can be erased, but feelings cannot. And Nico felt something was missing as well, as she was heart. So, after this Chisato requested permission from his superiors to deploy the S-rank, which Valkyria superiors initially denied his request, but it turns out that Chisato used his authority to deploy Valkyria with other high-ranking witches. However, she is a complete psychopath who has killed members of her own team and caused a huge commotion when police attempted to apprehend her. The higher-ups were furious, and Chisato's position as the head of the witch operation was now at risk. So Chisato showed up to remind her of her task. She attempted to scare Chisato, but with a slap, she came to her senses and apologized to him. All of this was done in order to capture code number 1107, which, a pat from her team had healing abilities, and when she killed her, her harness was slashed as well, but she survived. Her name is Hatsune. She was aware that other witches were seeking refuge in an observatory and arrived before the lab. When Hatsune did arrive, she discovered that everyone had died, but it was just a show put on in case Valkyria showed up. So when she first saw Murakami, she couldn't believe he'd risk his own life for a witch. So Hatsune put him to the test by pretending to fall from a telephone tower, and to her surprise, Murakami actually saved her. He could have died for the sake of a witch, but Kana told them about this and Katori and the others saved him. When Hatsune saw this, she fell in love with Murakami and kissed him, making everyone uncomfortable. Aside from that, because Kogoro never made eye contact with Nanami, Kogoro was aware of her life, so, after witnessing a witch's death, he realized that the cause of death is digestive enzymes, which a colleague of his had researched. So, using his data, he could create the death suppressant pill in 1 month, but they only had 1 week worth of pills, so everyone decided to give up and give the pill to Kazumi, hoping that at least one of them would survive. However, Valkyria arrived to retrieve 1107 with Chisato. Chisato told her to kill everyone except 1107, but she was always hesitant to kill Nico. She murdered Hatsune while she was attempting to push her harness, as well as Murakami. However, Nanami appeared and told Murakami about Nico's abilities. She informs him that if he pushes her upper switch of her harness, she will gain unimaginable power, but only if she survives the pressure. Murakami, on the other hand, simply cannot bring himself to take such a huge risk. But a faction named Hexa that work against the lab got there and saved everyone. Seeing them, Chisato took 1107, Katori with him and fled. They are all former lab employees, and knew what the lab was attempting to create, so a group of employees formed their own faction to prevent the lab from achieving their goal. Murakami's condition was collapsing, so Hatsune used her power to heal him, but she died as a result. And Hexa will not spare witches because they contain an alien. As it consumes their body, the witch will transform into a walking abomination. And Katori, or 1107, was even worse, and the lab wanted to create a being who is greater than the gods themselves, and for that, they experimented on witches. To put a stop to them, Murakami knew their location because of Nanami, so Kazumi discovered the exact location of Chisato's old home. So, in order to stop him, Hexa must collaborate with him. They agreed. Chisato created Katori her with the remains of her long-dead sister to bring her back to life, and then the alien egg began to hatch, threatening to wipe out all living beings on this planet, and that's why Hexa wanted to kill her no matter what. So, before it could destroy everything, Katori pressed her harness switch to kill herself to save everyone. Nico and Kazumi knocked Murakami out before they got to Chisato's place to keep him safe from any dangers. They then ran into Chisato and Valkyria, so the order remained the same: kill all witches. So Valkyria killed Kazumi, but she can't bear the thought of killing her own little sister Nico. But Chisato insisted on killing her anyway, and Valkyria chose him over her own little sister. But Murakami arrived in time, but it was ineffective against Valkyria, and Kana pressed her own harness up her siege, with which she regained her senses and came to save them. Seeing them in constant pain, Nico pressed the upper switch of her harness and survived, gaining full power, but she couldn't keep it up for much longer because Hexa arrived and nullified Valkyria's magic. However, Chisato ruined their chance to kill her because she had gotten out of control and was about to use antimatter to destroy everything. So, to stop her, Nico created a black hole to save everyone in this world. When that power came to her, it triggered her memories to awaken as well. She had always been Murakami's childhood friend, but now she has lost her memories.